Mic check.
Mic check, mic check, mic check. Check out my mic.
You're good.
Okay. Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Darchives. I'm Jamie talking to Leo.
And I'm Leo listening to Jamie.
And this week we are going to get into a failed cowboy who became more famous in death than in life. We are going to be talking about Elmer McCurdy.
Okay, I've never heard of Elmer McCurdy before.
It's a very interesting tale of a sad series of events for a sad man.
Okay, so where do we start?
We are going to start in 1880, Washington, Maine. Elmer McCurdy was born to his mother, Sadie, and maybe his mother's cousin. The paternal side is a bit unknown, but it is believed to have been a little incestuous.
Wait a minute. Oh, and his mother's cousin is the father.
Yes.
Okay, I'm with you.
Okay. Now, right off the jump, we have a bit of a rough start for him because even if the incest wasn't true, what is true is that his aunt and uncle immediately got him and raised him as their own. Which, he was fine. He was good with all that until his uncle's passing, at which point he found out that his aunt, quotation marks, was really his mother, and his quotation mother was his aunt.
Up until that part, this was sounding like Peter Parker's origin story.
I cannot attest to that.
Went to go live with the aunt and uncle. Uncle Ben dies, stuck with Aunt May, but in this scenario, Aunt May is also his mother.
Yeah. Now, reminiscent of who I was thinking of, which was Ted Bundy, when he found this out, he kind of had a bit of a mental breakdown. Like, when Ted Bundy found out that I think it was his sister, quote, sister, was his mother, he went off the rails and, started killing women.
Yeah, I do remember that storyline of she was a young mother.
Yeah.
He was raised by his grandmother, right?
I believe. I don't remember exactly.
Ted Bundy was given to his grandmother, and then his mother
was his sister.
Claimed to be his sister, but stayed in his life and then told him when he was older.
Mm-hmm. And then he went on to kill people, which Elmer did not, but this did begin his lifelong dependency on alcohol.
Okay.
He was still a teen during this time, and he would get into bar fights. Like, he kind of went off the rails a little bit. He was then sent to live with his grandfather, who actually got him on a good path, got him into a plumbing apprenticeship. So he's trying. He lived comfortably for a while with him and even reconnected with his mother during this time apart. But in 1898, he lost this job, and just 2 years later, both his mother and his grandfather died. So at 20 years old.
He is alone.
Yes. After this, he floated around the country doing jobs like plumbing, mining, and 1900s stuff. He actually contracted TB as a result of working in the mines, tuberculosis. In 1907, Elmer enlisted in the U.S. Army and was stationed at Fort Leavenworth in Kansas. While he was in the Army, Elmer really honed in on his love for and his skills in making nitroglycerin explosives.
Strange hobby to pick up, but okay. I mean, I guess if you're mining and stuff, explosives are kind of par for the course for, blowing out areas to get into mines.
Mm-hmm. So the Army really helped him with this. I don't know why the Army was doing this, but, America. Unfortunately for him, it appears he wasn't the best at making these explosives, though. We'll get into that, but he just didn't do it well. He had a hobby that he wasn't good at.
Okay.
In 1910, he was discharged from the Army, and now he begins his life of crime as a 20th century outlaw. Now, he was a robber through and through, but much like with his explosive makings, he wasn't good at it. During one of his robbery attempts, him and his little gang were trying to rob a train. They got on board, found the safe, and then detonated the nitroglycerin charge. Unfortunately, the explosion was so hot that it melted all the silver coins inside the safe, and they formed into like a little pool at the bottom of the safe, and they were only able to make off with a small amount of money. Next, they tried to rob a bank in Kansas. This time, the explosion was so loud that it woke up half the town, and they couldn't even successfully open the safe. So again, only a small amount of money was actually stolen. His third and final crime was set to be the largest heist in U.S. history. As seemed to be the pattern for poor Elmer, though, it did not go as planned. On October 4th, 1911, him and his crew were planning to rob a train that had about $400,000 worth of Osage land royalty on it.
Okay, little side note, Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yes.
Excellent movie on the Osage and how they were completely effed over.
Yeah, the Osage Reign of Terror? It wasn't called that because it was fun. They got, super screwed.
Yeah, Killers of the Flower Moon. If you haven't watched it, watch it.
It was so good. The crew boarded the train, cracked the safe, only to find that it was empty. They had somehow robbed the wrong train. They completely messed this up and got on the wrong train, so there was nothing there for them. The crew made off with $46 and some jugs of whiskey instead.
$46 back in the day, that's a couple people's monthly salaries.
Yeah, I mean, not terrible, but when you were set to have $400,000,
yeah,
bit of a letdown. But that's what the whiskey is for. Can't be let down when you're blacked out.
yeah. When you got whiskey under your belt. That's how they said it back in the day.
Ooh, fancy.
I had a bunch of whiskey under my belt.
Yeah, they got into the bottle and forgot that they had lost all that money. This would prove to be the fatal error in his life, though. Authorities were on him like flies on shit, as they say. A $2,000 reward was set for him, dead or alive. And just 3 days later, on October 7th, authorities surrounded a farm in Oklahoma where Elmer was hiding out. As a true outlaw, though, he did not surrender, and a gunfight broke out. In the end, though, Elmer's lifeless body was found in the barn, dead, at just 32 years old.
It's a quick little life.
Yeah, quick little sad life. With Elmer dead, though, the story is just entering our second half.
Okay, I was getting concerned. I was like, man, I feel like we kind of ran through this story.
No, that was part one of his tragic tale.
Okay.
After his death, no one claimed his body. He had no family and no friends. His body was embalmed using a generous amount of arsenic, and it remained unclaimed and eerily intact. His body was so well preserved that it could stand on its own without any major signs of decomp.
Dang.
Yeah,
He was a mummy.
Yeah, they mummified that man.
An arsenic mummy.
Mm-hmm. And there's pictures of it. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get away with posting it on Instagram, but I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best for you guys, but it is... eerie was a good word for it. It is creepy how well preserved he was. For months, he sat at the funeral home like a mannequin before the funeral director decided to take advantage of this situation. Thanks to lax laws and this man having absolutely no moral scruples, the director, Joseph L. Johnson, decided he could profit off of this. He dressed the body in street gangster clothes, gave him a rifle, and by that I mean just propped a rifle up on him, and decided to charge the public 5 cents to come and see the, quote, embalmed bandit.
Take a picture with the embalmed bandit.
Yeah, come to this funeral home, give me a little money, and pose with this dead man? Look at a dead man? Freaky. When do you think people actually grew a conscience? 1980s? 1990s?
We still have mummies on display today.
Yeah, but this just seems weird to me.
It's just it was just a lot sooner. You know, you're okay with looking at King Tut, but you're not okay with this? Why? Because of the time? The time that's passed? Still a dead guy.
Yeah, no, you're right. Just seems...
He was just an unclaimed dead guy back in the day.
Maybe it does feel like time has not enough time has passed to make me feel okay with that.
Hey, how long is he going to stay in good shape for picture taken?
A long time.
This guy eating up real estate. Nobody's claiming him. I can't bury him. Might as well make a buck off of him.
Well, let's see if you feel the same way after this.
I'm all about an independent business owner getting their money.
How do you feel about this independent business owner telling people to put the payment inside of Elmer's mouth?
All right, that's... he's losing me a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a little morbid.
Desecration?
What's the plan? Like, cut his stomach open? They shoving it down his throat? Like,
I have no idea. I don't know what his end game is.
Just a little novelty thing. Put it in the dead guy's mouth.
Yeah. Well, he seemed to enjoy the novelty of it because in another story, the director apparently put roller skates on Elmer and rolled him around to scare the local children.
You know what? I'm back on board with him. That's really funny.
No!
It's like some Scooby-Doo stuff, like
Scooby-Doo shit.
Propping up a body and pushing it around on skates.
That's so mean. First to the children, but the desecration of this man. He's just running around jangling with coins, scaring children.
Oh, look, some children. I think I'll just push this over here. I'm not saying that it's not horrible for this man. Desecrate the body, all that stuff's horrible. But at the same time, enough time has passed where I think this is pretty funny.
Now, after 5 years of this disgrace, 2 men came to the funeral home claiming to be Elmer's brothers and requested that the body be released to them so they could give him like a proper burial and, you know.
When in reality, this is probably just 2 guys that are like, this is really fucked up. We should go help this guy, this dead guy.
No. In reality, they were carnival promoters.
They just wanted to use the body.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Joseph, the funeral director, had spent the last 5 years batting off offers to sell the body for carnivals and freak shows, only to get tricked into giving it to them for free.
Elmer just can't catch a break,
No.
even after death.
Truly no peace for this man. The Great Patterson Show was now in possession of Elmer's body.
Yeah, what'd they do with it?
Well, 2 weeks later, Elmer was placed as the main attraction for a carnival in Texas.
If a dead guy is your main attraction, it's a pretty fucking piss poor carnival. What other attraction sucks so bad that some dead guy standing there is your main attraction?
Well, I mean, you think about like the carnival scene and the freak show scene back then. It was like, you know, strongman, bearded lady.
And none of them were as entertaining as a dead guy standing there.
I don't know. I can't attest. I've never been to the Great Patterson Show, but yeah, it's not great.
Their strongman was like an 86-pound dude. Like a 2-headed lady was like, it literally was just like a block of wood on her shoulder, looking like painted like a head or something.
Yeah. And over here, we have the strong man able to lift 50 pounds with assistance.
Able to lift a jug by himself.
The bearded lady's beard's falling off with the glue.
Yeah. Look as the strong man lifts this pail of water. Fascinating.
It's like a 13-year-old little scrawny boy.
Only women and children are allowed to watch the show and like ooh and ah over how strong this guy is.
Yeah. Ooh. For more... Sorry.
So stupid.
It is stupid. For more than half a century, Elmer's body was moved around, going to various carnivals, crime exhibits, haunted houses, and he was even in some low-budget films. A 1933 exploitation film called Narcotic, and a 1967 movie called She-Freak. Yeah, he was background in those.
That title caught me by surprise.
Which one?
She-Freak?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of movie was that?
Just looked it up because I did not know earlier. She-Freak is a carnival horror movie, is what I'm reading. It's the unofficial remake of the 1932 film called Freaks. So...
Okay, I thought it might have been a dirty movie from back in the day.
Nope. His body was used as a prop, so it was kind of like he's being used as like a mummy in the background. Could you imagine his corpse being in an adult film? But how would that even... Never mind. We're going to move past it. No, it was a horror movie.
I mean, where's all the rigor mortis at? You know what I'm saying?
Disgusting. Cut that, you foul little beast. Now I take you to late 1960s in Long Beach, California. At this point, his body is shriveled, missing fingers, toes, and ears, and now painted either a bright red or orange to hang by a noose in a funhouse called the Laugh in the Dark at the New Pike Amusement Park. Finally, and mercifully, in 1976, he was discovered to be not a mannequin, but a real body by the crew of the $6 Million Man after either his arm or his hand broke off.
He was on the set of the $6 Million Man?
Yep. And somebody broke off a piece of his limb, and they were like, oh, uh-oh, not a mannequin. Uh-oh, he's a human.
This guy hung out in movie lots for a long time. After making those first couple movies, they're like, yeah, he's just a prop. Throw him in the back.
Yeah, that's actually exactly what happened. I read that he was actually stored in like a utility closet because somewhere along the line, people had forgotten that he was a real man and they thought he was just a prop.
Damn.
How fucking brutal.
I don't know, I've got a weird thought on after I'm gone, you know? Nothing really matters. You like to think hopefully nothing horrible happens to your corpse, you know? Someone doesn't stuff you and do heinous things to you, like they did to this man, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't stuff him, but, you know, pumped him full of arsenic and trotted him around, but at the same time...
I'm gone. It is wild to me that he got forgotten. And by that, I mean, like, it was forgotten that he was a real man. At one point, they had dubbed him the Oklahoma Outlaw and had him, like, next to a Billy the Kid exhibit. So, like, they knew that this was a real man, and they were, I mean, charging and profiting off of it, but to forget that somewhere along the line and just put his body in a utility closet, spray paint him, hang him from a noose as just a scary little prop. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's wild.
But now we know he is a human, so people are, you know, taking care of the body properly, because now we're in the 70s. A little bit more humanity than the early 1900s. His body was taken to the LA County Coroner's Office, where it was confirmed that the body believed to be a funhouse prop was indeed that of Elmer McCurdy. Upon an autopsy, a bullet, carnival ticket stubs, and a penny from 1924 were discovered inside of him. A ticket stub? Really? No trash can? Well, here's this man's mouth, I guess.
Shitty kids will be shitty kids.
Throughout time.
You know what? I'm not going to blame kids. Shitty people will be shitty people.
Throughout time. Yeah. There was also signs of tuberculosis in his lungs, and these were identifying factors to finally give him back his name. This is how they confirmed that it was Elmer.
You know, we did kind of gloss over that. How many years did he have TB after being diagnosed before he died?
Only a few, but I did read somewhere. I only saw it in one source, so I didn't mention it, but I'll say it anyway. It was claimed that he had tuberculosis during his fatal shootout. It's been kind of debated, you know, how much further was he actually going to make it? Tuberculosis was a death sentence. On April 22nd, 1977, a horse-drawn hearse took Elmer to his final resting place in the Boot Hill section of Summit View Cemetery in Guthrie, Oklahoma, where he was finally buried. He was buried next to another bandit named Bill Doolin, and to ward off any future exploitations, potentially, it's alleged that 2 feet of concrete was poured over his grave. So we are truly putting this man down in the ground. Don't fucking touch him. Let him be. Around 300 people attended his funeral, And every Veterans and Memorial Day, a flag is placed on his grave. And hopefully the man is at peace now.
Well, it's good he finally got laid to rest, because, yeah, the shit that his body had to go through after death is just crazy. Losing, did you say his nose, his ear?
Fingers, toes, ears. He was falling apart.
Yeah.
I mean, for him to even make it that long, it was like 60 years of just being treated like a mannequin. There was also another story that, once again, I didn't include because I only saw it in one place. And I do try and keep this podcast as factual as possible, but I'll put this out there with a disclaimer of take this with a grain of salt. But I read that at one point, his arm was ripped off and it was used to chase a secretary around an office. Like, just to scare her.
I mean, given the state that the body was in, I could definitely see that.
Yeah. Just the...
And they probably glued it back on. It fell off later in the 70s, and that's why they found out.
Oh, you know what? Maybe.
I mean, this is all guessing, you know.
Yeah, but that's why I didn't include it, because I was like, well, how could his arm have come off if that's how we discovered later that he was a human, not a prop? But yeah, if they just fucking popped that back on, fucking stitched it back on, I don't know. But yeah, for me, it's just the desecration of, you know, I get it. If you believe in it, his soul is gone. At that point, it's just a body. But goodness gracious, was it treated terribly. Now, like many of our other stories that we talk about, he's inspired many forms of media, like books, movies, and even a Broadway musical that I believe was Tony nominated.
What was the name of it?
It's called The Dead Outlaw. If you ever feel like going to a Broadway musical about this sad sap, look it up.
Probably a little less fun than
Cannibal
the musical.
Mm-hmm.
The Alfred Packer story.
Yeah, it's touted as a horror comedy. The horror being what happened to him, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But that is my sad little tale of Elmer McCurdy and his life after death that gave him fame. I think I nailed it in the intro, though, saying that it was truly his after death that made him famous. Because he was just a failed robber in his life. You know, a sad drunk man with TB botching every robbery.
Well, Elmer, rest in peace, bud. You deserve it.
Yeah, you did your time, buddy. You paid the price for that crime. Hope you guys learned something new this week. You can follow our socials or send us an email. The links will be down in the show notes.
And as always, best way to help the show is leave us a rating and or a comment and let us know what you think.
Thanks for listening this week, and we will see you next week for another episode of The Darkives.
See you guys.
Goodbye. Sad tale of a sad man. R.I.P. to a real one, you know?
Poor Elmer.
Poor Elmer.